Do you like traveling? Heck, maybe you've been wanting to travel lately, but you don't really know where to start, how to get there, or maybe you don't even know about how much it's going to cost. And honestly, as a fellow traveler myself, I get it because I've asked myself these same questions when I've traveled. So far, I've been to 14 countries and 15 different states, which I'm trying to make it to 25 by the time I'm age 25, which is in August. So I've garnered a couple of like things and tips along the way, which I'm hoping to pass to you today. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to travel, when to travel, and finding the most cost-effective measures on doing so. So if traveling is something you're interested in, I would definitely recommend this video for you and it's something you want to hear. But in this speech, I'm going to be teaching you different tips that I've learned along the way. And I'm also hoping that by the end of it, you're going to leave with a greater knowledge than when you first came in. To begin, let's first discuss the process on how to start. Honestly, my first recommendation for this, just pick a destination. Write a couple places down and just pick as you go, and find something that you actually like. Google Flights is the perfect platform that I use in order to book my flights because it lists every single flight. It has different airlines. It has all the airlines that serve that destination, and it also has all third-party merchants, which oftentimes bring down the overall cost for you. So you will be getting the best price for that. Another thing I recommend, honestly, watch some TikTok videos, watch some YouTube videos of the destination you're trying to go to make sure it's a place you're actually interested in going to. Where do I stay? Honestly, I personally always stay in Airbnbs. You could also do places like hotels.com and booking.com, which are websites that offer accommodations. Also, some credit card companies have some partnerships with different hotels like American Express and Chase, for example. So now that we talked about, how to travel, let's talk about when you should travel. Honestly, when you travel, seasons is a very important thing to understand. There's off season and there's peak season. Peak season is during summer when everyone's out. Off season is during like winter, for example, when no one's really going out. If you're traveling on a budget, booking during off seasons may be your best bet. Why? Because it's less impacted, it's less touristy, and it's cheaper. Also, if you book on during specific days of the week, it's very important. If you book during Mondays and Tuesdays, it's oftentimes going to be cheaper because the algorithm usually brings up prices during the weekends because that's when more people are traveling. Geography also plays a part in this because the northern and southern hemisphere are completely different. For example, like if you want to travel to Australia during our summer, for them it's actually winter. So don't make the mistake of thinking it's gonna be summer when it's actually the complete opposite season. So always have that in mind because people usually do not regard that. So now we touched up on how to travel and when to travel. Now let's talk about some of the cost-effective benefits that you can do. If you're traveling on a budget like me, honestly, you're gonna want to listen to this. How are some things that you can do to make this a budget-friendly trip? Airbnbs. I recommend this for sure every time you stay anywhere because Airbnbs are the most cost-effective ways on how to get an accommodation. For example, I went to Istanbul. This one time I paid $70 a night, which is a steal. I went to Cairo as well, Egypt, and I paid $34 and I was literally in front of the pyramids. So this was amazing. Hotels.com is honestly a pretty somewhat affordable place to also book through, and you also get points that you can redeem for free stays later down the line. Pick less touristy places. A lot of times people, when they want to go to the beach, somewhere tropical, they pick Hawaii, they pick Cancun, which are beautiful, but they're also expensive. You can also, try different places that are not as touristy, like Jamaica or possibly even Puerto Rico, which, you can a lot of times get the same experiences for half the price. Um, for example, another thing that you can also do is buy your own groceries rather than always eating out. Cooking your own food can definitely bring down costs and can leave a little bit more money so you can spend on activities or souvenirs. Pick countries where the currency is usually lower than the American dollar. For example, if you choose to go to Europe, you're not going to be able to have as much money on your hands because not only is the Europe higher than the US, the euro, your European euro is higher than the US dollar, it's also kind of on par in terms of pricing. So for example, when I went to Egypt, a water bottle was 25 cents, which is a joke. But yes. So to close, I hope to have been able to provide a greater knowledge for you in traveling the world and to give you suitable methods that you can use for your next journey. I discussed methods on how to travel, when to travel, and the cost of methods that can benefit you. If this is honestly something that's been on the back burner for you, I really hope honestly my video has inspired you and given you a greater knowledge in doing so and taking that step that you've been on the fence about and finally booking that plane. To conclude, I hope my speech on teaching you a couple things on how to travel has helped you, not just motivating you, but also educating you on the different traveling methods that I've used and can work for you. And I hope you use them on your next traveling adventure. Fly away.